Okay, are you all excited to be here today? It's a very nice venue up here at the top of the football stadium. My name is Jim Herron. I'm the Executive Associate Dean here. I'm in charge of the Doctor of Pharmacy Doctor of Pharmacy program that our students are in. I've sometimes lose track how long I've been in the College of Pharmacy, but I believe that this is the start of my 31st school year. And so I've seen a lot of white coat ceremonies and a lot of graduating classes over the years. So I'd like to welcome you all. This is our college's 16th annual white coat ceremony, and this is the class of 2022. And so anyway, I'd like you all to give a round of applause for our new class of 2022. I wanted to give you a little bit of background about white coat ceremonies in the first place. They're a rite of passage that marks a student's transition from the preclinical studies that they have had into a career in healthcare. And so all of the students here have had at least 2 years of pre-pharmacy training, and some have had bachelor's degrees or higher, and are now going to embark on a 4-year course of study that'll result in them being doctors of pharmacy. White coat ceremonies first appeared in medical schools about 25 years ago, but now have moved into almost all professional schools in the health sciences. So just about, this is a pretty common thing at various universities this time of the year. They're also designed to mark a transition or a change in attitude to a career based on service towards others. And I think that this is a really key thing to think about, is that, careers in healthcare involve service, patients, other people in the community, and so this is a very big change that our students will be going through this next 4 years, and so that's something to keep in mind. So I'm very pleased to see so many of the students' loved ones and guests and special friends of the college, and so let's welcome all of you as well. So the next thing I do is like to introduce our Dean, Dr. Randall Peterson, who will give a few welcoming remarks. So Randy.
Thank you, Jim, and good afternoon and welcome to all of you. It's a distinct pleasure and privilege for me to be able to participate in this momentous event today as we begin to welcome you to the pharmacy profession and as you formally begin your path towards receiving a Doctor of Pharmacy degree. I think today, as you don your white coats for the first time, you'll feel a new mantle of responsibility as you begin to engage in this profession that's all about caring for the people around you and caring for the health of our community. It's a very exciting and momentous event, and a little bit daunting too, perhaps, but we know that you're up to the challenge. Several of us have felt, actually since the first interview several months ago, that there was something special about this class. And we've continued to feel that way as you've come onto campus and started your classes over the last few weeks. I feel like we're going to be able to expect wonderful things from each of you, and I'm really excited to watch what unrolls over the next several years. I'd also like to thank all of the wonderful supporting friends and family who are here with us today. I know that you wouldn't be here without them, so let's give them a round of applause as well. My remarks will be brief, but I did just want to share one idea with you before we move on with the program. And it's an idea that comes from one of the most famous professors ever to teach here at the University of Utah, a theoretical chemist named Henry Eyring. So Professor Eyring received the National Medal of Science in 1966, won numerous awards. There's a building on campus here named after him. And many chemists feel that he was wrongly passed over for the Nobel Prize for his work on transition state theory in chemical reactions. Earlier this week, I ran across a quote of his that seemed a little odd to me at first, but as I've thought about it, I actually think it's very valuable and appropriate advice for each of you receiving your white coats today. He said, "When you meet someone, treat them as if they were in serious trouble, and you'll be right more than half the time." Much of our lives is spent engaging with people around us on a superficial level without really being oblivious to the heavy burdens that they're carrying. But the people around us, our classmates, our coworkers, and especially our patients, our parents too, especially our patients, are often carrying really heavy burdens, whether it's the stress of school, whether it's health problems, maybe frayed personal relationships, financial troubles, mental health challenges, sick relative. There's no way that you can know about and fix all of these problems. But the gifted healer learns to treat everyone they interact with the compassion and sensitivity that would be befitting someone who, in the words of Henry Eyring, is in serious trouble. I've definitely experienced this kind of compassionate care myself. Actually, when I was in about your same position, in the first couple of years of my doctoral program, without a doubt, the most stressful period of my life, not just because of the challenging program I was in, but because of things that were happening in my family and in my own personal life. I remember going to take my son to the pediatrician for a problem that he was having, and after she attended to him, one of the nurse practitioners in the office came up to me, and with the intensity and sincerity that just startled me, asked me how I was doing, and spent a couple of minutes trying to figure out what was going on with Dad. I didn't feel ready to share all the things that were going on with her, and she certainly didn't fix it, but I'll never forget that level of compassion that she showed to me at that time. And so my one piece of advice to you today as you receive your white coats and begin your pharmacy journey is to remember this admonition of Henry Eyring. Treat everyone, your classmates, your coworkers, your patients, even your professors, with the compassion you would show them if you knew they were in serious trouble. Congratulations once again for all you've accomplished and done to get here. It's really a remarkable accomplishment. We're really proud of you. We have incredible confidence in you, and we're excited that you're joining the College of Pharmacy.
We have a number of faculty here today that I would like to recognize. They're sitting in that section over there, and I'd like them all to stand up and receive a round of applause for all the work that they do in educating our students. We have some special guests here today, too, that I'd like to recognize. We have 3 previous deans, starting with Harold Wolf and his wife Joan, and then John Mauger and his wife Karen, and Chris Ireland. And so Hal and John and Chris, would you stand up? I'd also like to give special thanks to our friend Joe Euler from Walgreens, who is partially sponsoring the refreshments at the end. Joe, I'm not sure where you're sitting, but do you mind standing up? Oh, okay. Not here apparently. Okay. And next I want to thank the John Flanders Jazz Group over there for the music. So anyway, this event takes quite a bit of time to organize each year, and so I would like to recognize the staff people that were involved with this. And hold your applause to the end because there's quite a few of them, and as I call your names, I'd like you to come up and stand here in the front so that they can all see you well. First of all, the group of three of people that basically organized this and took the lead are Dallas Nelson, Maddie Marshall, and Shauna Webster. Maddie has taken another job in the College of Nursing, so she's not here today, and actually Dallas is our new Maddie. And so anyway, he took over Maddie's responsibilities with organizing the event, and then various staff members helped out. And as I call your name, please come up. Tori Fouts, Emily Williams, Carrie Kirkpatrick, Ellie Popescu, Emily Clifford, Daniel Keddington, Judy Babbitt, and Misty Christensen. So thank you very much, Dean's Office staff, for everything that you do for the students. And for the third or fourth year in a row now, we're actually streaming this event worldwide. And Giselle Gomez up there has basically set up the video cameras as well as a satellite link, I believe, from the looks of it. And so this is going out live worldwide. And so if you have loved ones who weren't able to make it here today, by all means, we'll post the link and you can watch them. Also, Jackie Scheider is the person with the camera doing still photos that you see. That's her right there, and these will appear on our Facebook site and on the college's website. And that, so thank you, Jackie, too. Giselle and Jackie both. All right. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Kevin Walkenhurst, who is the Alumni Board President this year, and he has two different awards that he's going to present. And so, Kevin.
First and foremost, I would actually also like to invite Linda Sandberg up here. She will actually be presenting one of our awards tonight, or I guess I should say this afternoon.
Yeah, you can present it. I just need to tell you about this recipient. This year's Distinguished Alumni Award goes to a very dear friend of mine and a classmate. So you guys that are here this year, look around to those you're with. You'll make lifelong friends. It's to Betty Hong Yamashita. She graduated from this college in the class of 1976. And for 40 plus years, she has distinguished herself among pharmacy in Utah. She's mentored literally hundreds of technicians and pharmacy students. And I can say that because I know I talk to people all the time that did a rotation with Betty at one of her sites. She entered this profession in a time when there were very, very few women. We always count up how many girls are in the class coming to see, because it's a lot different than it used to be. It was a time when that wasn't the career for a woman. And Betty has really excelled in everything she's done. She's currently the manager at the South Ogden Clinic for Intermountain Healthcare, and she's worked there for the last 14 years. She took a brief kind of hiatus and did a little clinical pharmacy and some Coumadin clinic, but most of her career has been as a retail pharmacist. And she has worked for Independence and Chains, Weber State University, FHP, the Center for Change, and IHC. When I think what it means to be a professional, Betty comes to mind. She truly is a professional. She's been a member of national and state organizations. She's worked with the Utah Diabetes Educators Association, Kappa Epsilon. She served on the Board of Pharmacy for the state of Utah for 2 terms and was also chairman of that board. She's one of only a handful of women, I can tell you, that have been president of the Utah Pharmacists Association. She received the Bowl of Hygeia in 2002. She has been an item writer for the PCTB and the MPJE. Don't ask her any questions, she won't tell you. She's been a pharmacy advisor on the board of the Applied Technology College up in Weber, Ogden, and she's been recognized as the Clubwoman of the Year by the Ogden Business Professional Club. She's earned a lot of recognitions over her career, but the biggest thing to me is that she's so happy to serve the patients she meets on a daily basis. She takes so much time to mentor those students and then to work with her patients. You never call the pharmacy and ask for Betty that she's not counseling someone. And it's my dear privilege to have her be honored with this honor this year. I don't know of anyone more observing. Betty.
Thank you, Linda. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you for beginning your career. I know that you and your family have worked very hard to get here, so congratulations. And then I'd like to thank Linda and actually the College of Pharmacy for preparing me to do something that I truly love. And I hope that all of you find what you want, because pharmacy has given me the opportunity to do every single day something that I love. And hopefully you feel like you can make a difference in someone else's life. So you are beginning a wonderful new chapter in your life. I'm sure you have heard that a million times getting here. But as Linda says, we went to school together and we've maintained a good friendship. And throughout all of this, we studied together, we became friends, and I encourage you to do that also, because when you get out in the real world, you're not Sarah the pharmacist or Billy the pharmacist. You need to work together to make our profession the very best that it can be, because it is constantly changing. And when I look out at you and you're young and excited, I think I can remember way back then. It was a few years ago. But this is really an honor for me, because it's just something that this profession is something I've been able to do every day. And if I had it to do over again, I'd choose it again. And so good luck to you. Make sure that you work hard, work with your preceptors, and I know that you have the wonderful faculty here. So don't be afraid to reach out to anyone, your technicians, all the coworkers. Everyone has something to offer to you, so be sure you take advantage of it. Thank you.
Okay, and I would like to award the Young Alumnus Award recipient today. This is actually the first year that we've ever done this, and hoping that we continue on from now on here too. So our award winner this year is Fung Matthews. Dr. Matthews attended the University of Utah College of Pharmacy after receiving her Bachelor's of Science from Westminster College. She was actively involved in the Utah College chapter for ASHP and APHA as a VP of Membership, VP of Student Affairs, and Chair of Operation Diabetes. After graduating in 2008, Fung started with Rite Aid Pharmacy and also worked as a research consultant at the VA hospital. She went on to manage the Taylorsville Rite Aid, which ranked second in overall growth, performance, and service within its district. She later moved on to MedQuest Pharmacy to continue her leadership and management growth. She is currently at MedQuest Pharmacy as a pharmacy director. Fung is a past member of the Alumni Board and currently serves as committee member to the International Academy of Compounding Pharmacists and a fellow to the American College of Apothecaries. Fung believes being active in your profession is a must. She is adamant that we should all contribute to the growth of the profession and educate other healthcare providers on the benefits of what a pharmacist can provide to patient care. Again, Fung Matthews, our Young Alumnus Award recipient.
Well, now I'm really pleased to introduce our special guest speaker today, Dr. Linda Tyler. Dr. Tyler holds both the Bachelor's and Doctor's of Pharmacy degree from our college. She then did a residency at the Hospital of Pharmacy at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. And presently, she's the Chief Pharmacy Officer at University Hospital and Clinics. In addition to that, she's also the Associate Dean of our College for Pharmacy Practice, and she's also holds a faculty clinical professor appointment in our Department of Pharmacotherapy. So, Linda?
Shorter. Thank you so much. It is such an honor to be here today. To the class of 2022, the white coat ceremony represents the transition you make into the profession of pharmacy. Today is a celebration of this milestone. I also want to extend my welcome to the family, friends, and faculty. By being here, you demonstrate your commitment and support to these students and are dedicated to their success. It means so much that you could join us today. Simon Sinek wrote a book and did a TED Talk, if you want the shortcut, on starting with why. His premise is that if you start with why, it drives everything. The why is the reason that drives you, your purpose, your cause, your belief, the reason you get out of bed every day. If you know why, then the how and the what fall into place. So I pose the question, why are you here, ready to start your life as a pharmacist? You were chosen for this class because of your passion, drive, and desire to make a difference in the health of the patients for which you will care. And that will be unwavering throughout your career. Our job as faculty, and really our passion, is to make sure that you have the knowledge, skills, abilities to be able to do exactly that. Some days you'll think too much passion, but that's okay. Today I want to start by spending a moment thinking about the future of healthcare. Okay, this is not going to be a comprehensive list, it's just going to be some items I chose to talk about. What are some of the opportunities and challenges that you will face in your career? So there's several important trends I want to highlight. I think they will shape the future, and we're starting to see the starts of them now. Let's start with technology. Technology is exploding in all facets that we do, both the equipment, the software, the drugs, and devices, just to name a few. There are amazing possibilities. I could say there will be apps on our phone that will help us keep track of our steps, our health, our blood pressure, our weight. Apps that remind us what we need to do to stay healthy. Some are really cool. But I'm from a generation that remembers when we didn't have cell phones or we didn't have the internet. We typed labels on a typewriter when I started as a pharmacist. You worked in a progressive pharmacy if you used electric typewriters. So the class of 2022 would say, well, these apps are so yesterday. But our challenge as we use applications is how to use tools that will empower and engage patients to enact and impact their health. They have to be a partner in their care. The next generations of smart devices could play that role. Maybe the apps won't remind us to do things. Maybe they'll just sample our brain waves and know what we're doing and send that to our providers. Maybe it's using voice-assisted technology such as Alexa or Siri. Perhaps instead of us telling Alexis what to do, Alexis tells us what to do. It seems you are sick. I hear you coughing. I've scheduled you for your doctor's appointment. It's on your calendar. Or better yet, I hear you coughing. The doctor is on Skype for you now. We can predict that artificial intelligence will get stronger and have many applications in healthcare and drug development. Telehealth is here as a technology, but it will change how healthcare teams interact with each other and patients in the future. If you have a telehealth appointment, you as a patient don't have to go anywhere. You just Skype and visit with your doctor. You can have appointments in the evening. For $49, you can do this right now. Right now, it's designed for acute care and limited conditions, but over time, it is certainly a strategy for addressing chronic care conditions. Okay, what about drones delivering medications? Okay, it may sound ridiculous, but actually, we're looking at it in Salt Lake Valley. You have sick children, you don't want to leave the house to see a doctor, you do a Skype appointment, and your meds show up within 20 minutes. Or as a hospital, we need to deliver emergency medications to another facility. Think from University of Utah Health to Moab, we just put it on the drone. A technology the Defense Department has been testing in its pharmacy is what's called pharmacy on demand units. These units look like a box. Got to picture it. About 4 feet high, 3 feet wide, 3 feet deep. They can go anywhere. So if they can go anywhere, then they can go in the field with the troops. Troops don't need to guess what they'll need in the field. They can just make it. So with few inputs, it makes the drugs they need. Once this technology is refined, and they're also working on it with biologics, then there are all kinds of options for pharmacies and hospitals. It will change our supply chain. No question, there will be more drugs in our future. So I hate to tell you this, but the drugs you learn about now, so yesterday in 5 and 10 years. One challenge is how to rapidly screen compounds for potential to treat disease and adverse effects. The College of Pharmacy has world-renowned researchers who are both discovering and screening drugs to see if they have applications to treat disease. At the University of Utah, we lead the world in studying the human genome and applying knowledge to human disease. Maybe we bring our genome and medical record to each clinic visit, which may be a virtual visit on a card, the size or smaller of a credit card. We know that we will just continue to be more and more medications that are developed as genetic-specific treatments, and even some which actually alter our DNA. We know different genomes respond differently to different drugs. We know this information for a few drugs, and it's tested for specific disease states. In the future, we'll know more and more about drugs and how our genetic makeup changes how drugs are handled by our body. And what would it look like if we had this information before we ever prescribed a drug? Through technology in our discovery processes, We generate an amazing amount of data. You know, amazing doesn't even begin to describe it. We have so much data. And the future is about harnessing these data to tell us meaningful things. Using predictive analytics, we can determine who's going to get sick or who's going to be high risk, or how we can help keep people healthy. Seemingly random data can tell researchers something about your health or your utilization of health care. For instance, did you know childless or only child households are more likely to use the ER inappropriately? Okay, I don't know why. It's just the data. Voting records, education, income, demographics give insight into you and how you use healthcare. Mining data will create new knowledge as well as give us profound insights in disease and wellness. The future will definitely be the age of consumerism. I've mentioned a couple things, but what consumers want is healthcare when they want it. No waiting for months for an appointment, no parking, no insurance hassles. Many of you have heard the press release this last year about what Amazon's doing. This is a company built on providing what the customer wants when they want it. And they're already experimenting with drones. They will have more data, they may already have more data than you would appreciate, on you and your spending habits. And these same data can be harnessed to tell us something about your health. Privacy? Not anymore. But the big news was that Amazon partnered with 2 other companies, Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan, to address healthcare needs of their collectively 1 million employees and their families. This provides them with the space to experiment and identify ways to change the healthcare delivery model, improve care, and reduce costs. As employers, they're saying we have to find a better way to deliver high-quality care. This partnership is just one example of how a nimble company can change and innovate. This has the potential to reinvent the delivery systems. So I just named a few, but with this seemingly limitless potential, what could possibly stop us? Elizabeth Rosenthal probably said it best. She is a physician trained in internal medicine who worked as an ER and then as a reporter for the New York Times for 22 years. She had that unique ability of translating science so that everybody understood it. She wrote a book, An American Sickness. She said, and I quote, "We live in the age of medical wonders. Transplants, gene therapy, life-saving drugs, and preventative strategies. But the healthcare system remains fantastically expensive, inefficient, bewildering, and inequitable. It's clear to engage in our future possibilities, we need to address the major hurdles. The first hurdle is the rising healthcare costs, especially drug costs. We spend 18% of our gross domestic product on healthcare, more than $3.3 trillion a year, and prescription drugs make up 10% of that. Our healthcare costs rise faster than inflation, making this absolutely unsustainable. We use the same amount of healthcare as other nations. We just pay more for it, on the average twice as much, compared to the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. And the costs just keep rising. Well, there may be a few reasons for why this may happen. I'll touch on a few. We want new drugs, technologies, services, and procedures, even if there's little evidence. We want our future now. Let's face it, as a nation, the demographics would say we are older, sicker, and fatter. I wish that wasn't true, but 85% of healthcare costs are due to chronic diseases, such as diabetes and heart disease. Almost half of all Americans have at least one chronic disease. And yet, we have the worst healthcare outcomes of developed nations. All this at a time when 1 in 5 Americans, many of our patients, do not have reliable food, housing, jobs, or utilities. As a nation, we've not addressed access to healthcare issues and disparities in our healthcare delivery system. We have supply chain disruptions that increase costs. As pharmacists, we worry about drug shortages and if the drugs that patients need will be available and safe. Yesterday, Intermountain Healthcare launched a new company, a collaborative of many health systems across the country, including University of Utah Health. The company, Civica RX, intends to change and disrupt the pharmaceutical industry, to put patients first, reduce costs, and protect the availability of critical medications that we need for patients in our hospitals. It has been estimated that with all that, we still have $1 trillion in waste in a healthcare system as an industry. The reality is our healthcare system is not oriented to health. It's geared to episodes of care, episodes of disease. There's little emphasis on the prevention of disease. It reliably fails to deliver what consumers and our patients want and need. And this is where you come in. Simon Sinek would say, think boldly about why. An example he uses to give you a feel is that if you're a paper company, you might just say, well, the why we're here is to make paper. But he would say you should revise that to say, we make fabulous paper that changes people's lives. People want to use our paper as a great experience. Okay, maybe that's not the best example, but it gives you a feel. I posed the question at the beginning that your why is the desire to make a difference in the healthcare of patients for which you will care. Each of you will have a different personal why. Whatever path you take will make a difference during the course of your career in the health of patients, regardless of what you choose to do. While I may have painted a bleak picture, think of healthcare landscape as turbulent whitewater rapids. Bill Gouveia, a noted pharmacy leader, described the healthcare landscape as whitewater in 1993. The rapids have only gotten more exciting in my career. You may not have signed up for the thrills and spills, but this is the landscape in which we will work in the 21st century. It's a challenge, and yet it presents some really exciting opportunities. But keep in mind, when I talked about the future, I talked about how things would change. And when I talked about what's wrong in healthcare, I talked about the flaws and how we deliver care and use our resources. But none of that addressed the what we do. The what we do as pharmacists is constant. We are the medication experts. We receive more training in medications and how they work than any other health professional. The unique body of knowledge that we have includes not only an in-depth knowledge of medications, but also of the healthcare delivery systems. We are the ones that interact with our patients the most, and that's because we see them across the continuum of care. When you take medications for chronic diseases, you take them every day. The unique body of knowledge that we have, do you know that as often as 90% of the time, the medication list that your prescriber has is wrong? Pharmacists care a lot that the entire healthcare team has a current, accurate medication list for a patient. And when a pharmacist reviews a list, they are comprehensive in what they do. They are checking to see if the patient actually even needs the drug. They're checking if the dose is correct. Are there drug interactions? Is the patient experiencing adverse effects? It sounds easy, but it's not. But we are going to be the ones that can put that all together and solve medication-related problems for our patients. And we're the ones that are oftentimes the first to spot when a patient is having problems with such things as affording their medications or they can't afford the food they need. We understand healthcare costs better than most. It is a complex landscape that frustrates providers and patients to no end. Likewise, we have expert communication skills to work with our patients. We have to motivate them to want to take their drugs. We want them to understand how to take their medications well and how the medications will help them. Patients have very complex regimens. Nearly 1 in every 3 adults takes 5 or more medications daily. Some patients who are more complex may even take 20 or 40 medications a day. And we help patients figure this out. Or maybe you want to use your skills and abilities to be the ones to create the future through technology as an informatics specialist. Or maybe you want to be the one that discovers new drugs and go into research. You will find that your clinical background will serve you incredibly well. And I can tell you as a leader, I may not be working with patients directly, But I work with many teams where I am the only clinician on the team. And that's really important as you make decisions in healthcare and make decisions for our future. Needless to say, there's no shortage of opportunities for us to make a difference. I'm biased, but I truly believe the very best place in healthcare is as a pharmacist. We're uniquely positioned to link our knowledge of drugs, our knowledge of the healthcare delivery system, warts and all, and connections to our patients to aim for better health. I describe to you what you will do as a pharmacist, and that it will be a constant during your career. As the future becomes the new now, you'll have to adjust and learn new things about new drugs and new ways of doing things. The what you will know will change almost before you know it sometimes. You have to adapt and learn. You'll have to implement new technology that will support both you and your patients. And the speed is dizzying and accelerating. As I wrap up, I want to talk about 3 attributes or skills I think will make you successful, both as a student in the college and after you graduate. The first is teamwork. We solve problems in teams. That includes patient-specific issues and healthcare delivery problems. It can be your interdisciplinary team. It can be the team that you work with in the pharmacy. Teamwork requires that we work with a shared purpose. It allows us to harness the creativity and innovation that will genuinely solve problems. And we are relentless with the status quo, or restless with the status quo. We can solve all the problems in healthcare that I mentioned, but at one baby step at a time. And we take care of our teams. Whatever team you are on, you need to respect and care for each other. As a community within the college, we look out for each other. Faculty, staff, and students working together. We leave no one behind. We move forward together. The next attribute is flexibility. Face it, change is a part of our lives. Flexibility requires that you have optimism and courage, that you view problems as opportunities, that you constantly want to learn and improve. You have a clear purpose. You know your why. You show flexibility in the face of unexpected obstacles. Some would describe this flexibility as resilience, the ability to bounce back from failure. People who are resilient have grit. They are remarkable in their passion and perseverance and have extraordinary stamina. They love what they do, and I would wish this for you in your career. I've had the opportunity to practice in 4 different specialty areas during my career. I was a critical care specialist, a poison control specialist. I came to Utah as a drug information specialist, and after 22 years became the senior pharmacy leader for University of Utah Health. That was not a career change I was expecting, but it was a huge opportunity. Each time I changed specialties, I had to retool and be flexible. I would oftentimes feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but then I realized I didn't know what I was doing yet. It's a simple word, yet. I would figure it out. I would ask for help. When you say you can't do something, stop yourself and say, you can't do it yet. It takes great resiliency for me to make these changes, and you will have to use your skills as well. And last, I would ask you to be an advocate. Throughout your career, you will need to be an advocate for yourself, your patients, and your care team. If you are struggling as a student, you need to say something. Our faculty will support you, and we have incredible student services in the college. Your patients have a hard time navigating through our system and understanding their medications. You need to stand up for them. You need to prevent harm. You will often have the opportunity to tell stories about what you do and how you make a difference in the care of patients. You know, I'm still not sure my mother really knew what I did. I tried to tell her, but you know, clinical pharmacy, it's like in our head. You know, all the things I described, we're like calculating things in our head. But we have to somehow tell our stories, or people don't really understand what we do. And this is advocacy too. You will also have the opportunities to advocate with our state legislature, even as a student. And this is where change in our healthcare delivery system and healthcare policy starts, with you. You have a chance to be a part of it. So remember 3 things. Work well in teams, be flexible, and be an advocate. And in doing these things, you will be a change agent and a leader for the profession. You will create the future. In conclusion, you have the power and passion and drive to be amazing pharmacists. During your time in the college, we are going to be sure that you are well prepared and trained, ready to take on the challenges we face as a profession and society to help our patients achieve the best health possible. You will be able to discern the how and what you want for your career, and the possibilities are endless. You will be prepared to navigate the whitewater of healthcare successfully. It will be a wild ride, but it will be worth it because you will make a difference. On behalf of the faculty, I welcome you as you enter the profession. To the class of 2022, I wish you the very best.
Okay, I'd like to thank Dr. Tyler for a very wonderful talk, and I hope that you all listened closely and profited from it, because I think that she outlined some of the changes that are going to take place, first of all, in the next 4 years, but also through the next 30, 40 years of your actual practice career once you're done with this. So, lifelong change, that I think is the one constant. So, it's that time where you're going to get your coats put on. So let me explain how this is going to work. It's a little bit complicated, but Dr. Jacqueline Winter, who was named by last year's first year class as their teacher of the year, is going to read your names. And so she's going to be up here reading the names. You're going to have her in your class, in your biochem class starting soon, and then you'll have her again in the second year. So she's one of your first and second year teachers. Dean Peterson is actually going to coat you, and then Drs. Walkenhurst and Tyler will shake your hands and give you some congratulations. And so I think what we'll do is we'll put Dr. Peterson here, and we'll put Drs. Tyler and Walkenhurst here, and then Shauna Webster and myself will be down there next to the pledge to have you each sign that as you exit the stage. So you will basically come up this way, line up over here, come up, and when the Dr. Winter calls your name, walk up. You will be hooded, and then have some hands to shake here and a pledge to sign over there. Okay? Okay, so why don't we have the first row stand up, and we'll get everyone up here and get started.
Fernando Amaya. Mackenzie Anderson. Melina Bakhtar. Thank you. Madison Bailiff. Bryson Bellacomo. Sarah Brown. Christopher Cahoon. Clayton Carter. Tiffany Castro. Riley Collard. Alexandra Danzaro. George Derwish. Sarah DeWitt. Manveer Dhaliwal. Lisa Juan. Mackenzie Donaldson. Miriam Abrahimi. Naz Farugi. Jordan Fortner. Hayam Garabi. Caleb Ham. Taylor Hammock. Jordy Harris. Andre Hijazi. Haley Hewitson. Weston Hudbach. Douglas Hutchinson. Liao Lai. Declan Dolan. Dixie Lee. Paulina Leopanita. Leia Lubachich. Shirley Wu. Savannah Meyer. Zachary Merrill. Isaac Ney. Justin Nielsen. Austin O'Born. Sengun Oh. Jill New Pamphil. Alexander Peterson. Emily Pinnock. Aaron Price. Parker Robinson. Richard Roylance. Matthew Savas. Abby Smith. Sarah Sun. Emily Sorensen. Mackenzie Stout. Aure Sue. Madison Taylor. Shamsaline Thibault. Adelaide Tempest. Haley Tusher. Alicia Trump. Ross Yuri. Elise Ficklin. Megan Walker. Emily Warner. Adam Wilker.
Okay. You've all been coded. I guess you've all... So now we're going to have you recite the pledge that you just signed, and the pledge is given on the back of your program. And I'm also asking, inviting fourth year student Hillary Parkin to come up and lead you in the pledge. So Hillary.
Welcome, class of 2022. This is so exciting to see you all here. And before I recite the pledge with you, I'd like to share a little bit of advice, student to student. Since I'm in my 4th year, I've been in your shoes pretty recently. I know how exciting this is all for you. And I want to share a piece of advice that has really helped me in pharmacy school, and that is to be involved in all of the student organizations and activities that there are. I'm sure that you guys have all heard the alphabet soup of all of the different professional organizations there are out there. And I recommend getting involved, talking to other students, and participating in them. That's where I've made most of my great connections and met mentors and learned a lot about pharmacy. And then just to echo what Dr. Tyler said, remember your why. You'll have many times where you go through school, you'll feel stressed, tired some nights. I remember studying for 12 hours during finals with my friends, and those can be hard times, but if you think and remember your whys, it's all worth it, and it's just an amazing opportunity to learn and to grow. So with that, let's go ahead and read the Pledge of Professionalism together. It's just on the back of your program here. Here we go. As a student of pharmacy, I believe there is a need to build and reinforce a professional identity founded on integrity, ethical behavior, and honor. This development, a vital process in my education, will help to ensure that I am true to the professional relationship I establish between myself and society as I become a member of the pharmacy community. Integrity will be an essential part of my everyday life, and I will pursue all academic and professional endeavors with honesty and commitment to service. To accomplish this goal of professional development, as a student of pharmacy, I should develop a sense of loyalty and duty to the profession by being a builder of community, one able and willing to contribute to the well-being of others, and one who enthusiastically accepts the responsibility and accountability for membership in the profession. Foster professional competency through lifelong learning. I must strive for high ideals, teamwork, and unity within the profession in order to provide optimal patient care. Support my colleagues by actively encouraging personal commitment to the oath of pharmacist and a code of ethics as set forth by the profession. Incorporate into my life and practice dedication to excellence. This will require an ongoing reassessment of personal and professional values. Maintain the highest ideals and professional attributes to ensure and facilitate the covenantal relationship required of the pharmaceutical caregiver. The profession of pharmacy is one that demands adherence to a set of rigid ethical standards. These high ideals are necessary to ensure the quality of care extended to the patients I serve. As a student of pharmacy, I believe this does not start with graduation. Rather, it begins with my membership in this professional college community. Therefore, I must strive to uphold these standards as I advance towards full membership in the profession of pharmacy. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Thank you, Hillary. That was good. So that's pretty much it. And so we have desserts and drinks in the back, again partially sponsored by Walgreens. And I would just ask the audience to remain seated until all of the students have processed out of the room, or actually precessed rather than processed. Okay.